normally I do the opportunity of the week first, but I'm actually going to do that last this week because I have a tutorial to show you. So I'll go ahead and start with the news first for this week. First up, we have 1inch, which has been the talk of the DeFi town this week because of their airdrop, which corresponds with the launch of their new liquidity mining campaign. They are the second biggest DEX, or decentralized exchange, behind Uniswap, and they just released their airdrop for all wallets who traded at least a $20 amount through the 1inch exchange. The airdrop was weighted proportionately based on the volume of trades per wallet, which made some whales make out very good, with one whale claiming to have received over $20,000 worth of the token. Wow. In DeFi, it pays to experiment and play around with these projects. Cover Protocol, the decentralized insurance project, which I have mentioned on the show before, has unfortunately suffered an exploit, with an attacker minting 40 quintillion cover. Yes, you heard that number right. This caused the price of cover to quickly dip down around the $200 level before finally recovering up to around $300. Not a good day for DeFi considering the multiple complications that have arisen in the aftermath, as well as competing project Nexium having its own problems lately. Cover Protocol alerted the community, although not so quickly. It took them about 6 hours. The message was urging that no one purchase cover tokens, as well as asking liquidity providers to remove their funds. Yikes. This is a project that is well needed in the space, so I wish them well on their recovery. And while we're discussing wrecked protocols, that brings me to huge news for the greater crypto world. Ripple has been sued by the SEC for US securities fraud. Coinbase announced that they were delisting XRP starting on January 19th. Sorry to anyone out there who may have been wrecked, but XRP has long been a thorn in the side of many crypto influencers due to its centralized and permissioned nature. The token supply isn't determined by miners or validators. It was essentially allotted by the founders, and so many in the space don't believe it's even a real cryptocurrency to begin with. CEO Brad Garlinghouse and his second-in-command were also sued personally due to the fact that they cashed out their own XRP stash for around a whopping $900 million. It seems as though Ripple's days and their underlying ODL technology could be done for good. This is to the relief of many on crypto Twitter who called it a scam from the beginning, as well as a financial ruin for some people, I'm sure. Next, I want to talk about Decrypt, which is one of my favorite crypto publishers. Decrypt has launched a testnet version of its new loyalty token. I was able to download it on iOS through TestFlight, and the idea is that you get rewarded tokens for reading articles and interacting with various aspects of the mobile app, such as sharing, reacting, etc. And I do a lot of crypto reading and research. Therefore, I like the idea of being able to be rewarded for my participation as a consumer. They are currently funded by Granddaddy ETH firm Consensus. I'm happy to see their token launch. Maybe one day they can head towards becoming a more decentralized entity. The token was originally announced back in March, but it's finally out now for readers to compete for. So this last story of the week is going to be a tutorial as well as our opportunity of the week. Deep in the degen dungeons, traders have been aping into a new generation of algorithmic stablecoins. In case you need a bit of background, up until now there were two main types of stablecoins, which are digital assets that do not fluctuate and attempt to maintain a price approximately equal to $1 American. Now the first type are called centralized stablecoins because they rely on actual American dollars to back them up with a 1-to-1 ratio, which requires trusted third parties to act as a custodian for these reserve funds. The biggest example is USDC, which is maintained by Coinbase, but there are others as well, such as the Pax Dollar or Facebook's upcoming stablecoin called Diem. With the recent threat of the Stable Act in the US, many in the community have warned that the centralized coins can be seized by governments, which is in part what is fueling these new purely algorithmic stablecoins. Now, before we get to this new third type, let's talk briefly about the second type of stablecoins, which are collateralized, such as DAI or SUSD. These need to be over-collateralized by the reserve assets so as to avoid any liquidations due to price slippage. There are also other capital inefficiencies which these markets create, such as systemic risk with a domino-like effect when it comes to panic selling. So a third new type of stablecoin has been created called algorithmic, or algo for short. These tokens, such as ESD or DSD, have no underlying collateral but instead rely on game theory and market mechanics to keep the price pegged close to $1. Because there are no humans involved, no third party is needed. Very interesting idea, but not one without controversy. Some in the community have been quick to point it out as a Ponzi scheme, while other prominent members of crypto Twitter have praised the project as a needed innovation to create a more censorship-resistant stablecoin. Take a look at CoinGecko to see the price action, and you'll see that the process has yet to be perfected. It seems to be sort of a whale's game, and it's anyone's guess as to whether the protocols can stand up to the test. To make things even more confusing, there is already a fourth iteration of stablecoin that is a hybrid, part collateralized and part algorithmic coin. The first example of that one just launched on Monday, and it's called Frax. So ESD is going to be our opportunity of the week because of the current APYs for bonding in the DAO. Instead of yield farming, DSD and ESD holders profit by bonding to the DAO and receiving rewards during expansions, which is whenever their token rises above $1. These extra reward tokens can then be burned to buy coupons when the price is riding below $1 in an effort to push the peg back towards $1. I'll leave some links below in case you want to look more into it, as they are fascinating but somewhat complex. And keep in mind that complexity bears more risks hidden behind the scenes, making these stablecoins aggressively risky, at least for now. So first, you are going to need to purchase ESD if you don't already have it, which you can do by finding the contract address for the Uniswap pool. So after you have ESD in your wallet, you are going to want to head over to app.emptyset.finance and click on the DAO tab. You'll notice that it shows your balance here and the status should say unlocked. First, you will have to stage the ESD, and you'll see an approval button here, which I already clicked to approve it. Once you do that, you should see this deposit and withdrawal section pop up. So I'm going to click in here and click max and then deposit that. And after that deposit is confirmed, you should see it staged here. Next, you're going to have to bond the tokens. So you'll click max and click here to bond, and note that to withdraw, so to unbond and take your money out, you're going to have to wait for 15 epochs. Each epoch is 8 hours, so you're going to have to wait a total of 5 days to withdraw your funds. This is a sort of rug lock mechanism, so I'll go ahead and bond this, but it also prevents mass removal of liquidity from whales. And now I'm waiting for my tokens to be bonded. Next, you're going to want to head over to vfat.tools. This is a very helpful information aggregator with multiple different protocols. So you're going to go down to empty set dollar and click various. This tells me here here's my bonded ESD, and this will become frozen at epoch 345. The rewards are very good on this right now, 3,000% APY for the DAO and around 2,600% for the LP rewards. So you'll see here that the current epoch is at 330. So in 15 epochs, or around 5 days, that's when my bonded ESD will become frozen. And that's when I will be able to withdraw or add more or claim rewards, etc. Now, something else that's very important to note if you're going to enter these pools, you don't receive rewards when the so-called stablecoin is below its dollar peg. Okay, so the rewards kind of freeze when you're below peg. So you'll see now that over the course of making this video, it went down to 92 cents. What that does is stops us from getting rewards, and it starts adding up debt, which you can see on ESD.tools. If you go here, that's going to show you not only the debt that is building up for the protocol, but it's also going to show you the epochs, which is what I was talking about, the 8-hour periods where the coin expands or retracts its supply based on the market dynamics. So when that happens, you will notice at vfat.tools that it's going to say 0% under your APR for both the LP and the DAO rewards. Don't be concerned or alarmed by that, as that is the way it's designed, and once the token goes back up over $1, those rewards are going to kick in again as soon as the debt is paid back. So as we're witnessing here, in 5 seconds, there's going to be an epoch, and the spot price is going to switch to the TWAP price, which is the total weighted average price. The goal is to get back to as close as $1 as possible. We want to be over $1 so that this 13 million in debt can be paid back to the protocol, and then the DAO bonders will start to receive rewards again. So this is a game of risk you're playing here, but when it's an expansion, the rewards are really good. I'll leave it up to you to look at its even more aggressive cousin, Dynamic Set Dollar, or DSD. This is a fork of ESD with the same principles, but the epochs are 2 hours instead of 8, which they claim can keep up with market dynamics a little bit faster. That's going to be it for our news of the week. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below to stay notified of all the latest DeFi news. And remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research and do not use more than you can lose. See you next time.